What's up, everybody? Finally got my room a little bit clean, so now I can record over here. So today we're going to be talking about the supercharger, the headers, the injectors, fuel pump, everything that we installed over at Andy's place. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about how the supercharger works and kind of how it affects the car and why there's significant horsepower increase due to forced induction, which is what a supercharger is. So let's just jump right into it. We got another beautiful sunny day here in South Florida. I figured it'd be the perfect time to showcase the supercharger and the headers that we installed at Andy's garage. I'll link the channel, and actually he put up a video kind of talking about the install a little bit and showing a couple of pulls. I'll link that video up as well. So essentially we installed a couple of components here. So we installed the supercharger, which is right here. There's a lot of associated piping that I'll kind of talk about as well. We installed the headers down there, and then we also here's the passenger side header, which was an absolute pain, but we also installed a couple of other things. We got upgraded fuel injectors, which you can't really see in there. This car actually has both direct and port injection, so we upgraded the port injection on here. Not sure why that is. I'll do some research on that and kind of post it up on the blog. We also upgraded the spark plugs on here to run a little bit colder to get a better burn. So essentially how this works is, as with all superchargers, we got a belt driven supercharger over here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's driven off of a separate crank pulley, so it's on a completely different belt system, which I found really awesome. That means if the belt ever snaps on the supercharger, you can still limp it home or to the shop or wherever you need to go. So how the supercharger works is, internally it has a gear which steps up for every rotation of this gear. The gear inside will rotate, I believe it's 4.1 times. I'll double check on that. So what that does is it essentially has a fan inside, which because you're running it so fast, it causes more air to flow into the engine. So kind of the process behind it is you got the air intake over here. The little fan is inside, and this is an oversimplification, but like I said, I want to keep the YouTube channel as simple as possible. So the air from the air intake goes into the fan. The fan then blows that air down into there. I don't know if you can see it right there. Oops. Yeah, you can't really see it, but so that pipe is kind of the exit of the supercharger, which after that, let me get down here. It flows into the intercooler, which is essentially a radiator for the air that's coming from the supercharger. That cools the air down, which has a lot of advantages, ranging from improved efficiency because the air is more dense, you're running a little bit cooler, so it cools down the engine a little bit, that kind of stuff. So after the intercooler, it flows through that pipe, which goes through there, and then bam, right into the intake manifold. So because we're forcing more air into here, we had to upgrade the fuel injectors on here, which because you're receiving more air from the supercharger, the car has to compensate by adding more fuel. When you get to a point which is called stoic, which is the stoichiometric ratio between air and fuel, which is typically 14.4 to 1, that equates to the best burn. So your computer on board your car is always trying to reach that stoichiometric ratio between the two. So because of the additional air coming from the supercharger, we had to upgrade the injectors, which causes more fuel, which essentially it causes a bigger explosion inside the engine, which means more power, which was nice if you can actually put it down to the ground. So I'll talk a little bit more about this process in the blog, go into a little bit more detail, but that's essentially how it works. You got more air flowing in from here, which flows into your engine. Your computer compensates that by adding more fuel. That results in a bigger explosion, which generates more power. So the issue with that is because I have a stock drive line on here. So the issue with that is that having that much power makes it extremely difficult to hook. So even with these Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on here, I got some 255 4019s. It's still extremely hard to hook with this car. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully in the coming videos I'll be upgrading the suspension, the axles, the wheels, the tires, so that we can actually put the power to the ground. Yeah, that's pretty much it right now. And here is the actual startup. Let's see if it'll remote start. Oh, guess not. It's kind of hard to talk over the Supercharger. The car itself also got a little bit louder because of the headers, but it wasn't anything significant. It mainly got louder once you actually open it up. So before I close out the video, I wanted to give a big shout out to Lethal Performance down in Wellington. They definitely helped out a lot. You know, their customer service was definitely on par, dealing with all my questions about it, the Supercharger and the headers and everything. And you know, once again, I wanted to give a shout out to Andy. Having access to his shop definitely helped out a lot. It made the install a lot easier than doing it in a driveway with or on jack stands. So thanks Andy, thanks Lethal, and that sums up my first car video. So very excited. Let me know how I did. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.